Hafaday, Lesoralim, good morning and welcome to your House chamber and welcome to today's session. Senator Bani, nice to have you on this side every once in a while. I'm assuming you have something of interest in today's session. And to everybody else in the gallery, welcome to your House chamber and welcome to today's session. I'd like to welcome also the folks watching on cable and on all the different social media platforms. I now call this fourth day, third regular session to order. Please let us all rise for a moment of silence. Thank you, everyone. I now recognize the clerk to please call the roll of attendance.
Representative Vada,
Present.
Representative Aldan, Representative Aquino,
Present.
Representative Veto,
Present.
Representative Benavente, Representative Angelo Camazzo, Representative Diego Camazzo,
Present.
Representative Joel Camazzo,
Yes.
Representative Joseph Flores,
Present.
Representative Marissa Flores,
Present.
Representative Manglotnya,
Present.
Representative Ogo,
Present.
Representative Omar,
Present.
Representative Palacios,
Yeah.
Representative Rangomar,
Present.
Representative Sablan,
Stiger.
Representative San Nicolas,
Present.
Mr. Speaker,
Present.
Representative Yangtamay, Representative Yumo. Mr. Speaker, 17 members are present and 3 members are absent.
Thank you, clerk. With 17 members present, that's enough for a quorum for today's session. Please let the record reflect that Representatives Yangtamay, Yumo, and Benavente are hereby excused for today's session. And before we proceed to public comments, I'd like to recognize the floor leader for the motion to amend today's agenda. Floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At this time, I move to suspend Rule 3, Section 6, so that the House amends its agenda to include unnumbered bills and resolutions and communications not filed with the House Clerk's office 72 hours in advance when a notice for session was given and posted. So move.
Thank you, floor leader. A motion has been made by the floor leader to amend today's agenda, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? Clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Vada,
Yes.
Representative Aldan, Representative Aquino,
Yes.
Representative Veto,
Yes.
Representative Angelo Camazzo, Representative Diego Camazzo,
Yes.
Representative Joel Camazzo,
Good.
Representative Joseph Flores,
Yes.
Representative Marissa Flores,
Yes.
Representative Manglotnya,
Yes.
Representative Ogo,
Yes.
Representative Omar,
Ungan.
Representative Palacios,
Good.
Representative Rangomar,
Yes.
Representative Sablan,
Ungan.
Representative San Nicolas.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker,
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, all 17 members present voted yes.
Thank you, clerk. With all 17 members present voting yes, the motion carries. Thank you. We now move down to public comments. The podium's open. Please state your name and the entity you represent and try to keep your comments related to today's agenda. You'll be given 5 minutes and you'll be allotted more time in a second round. So, podium's open.
Good morning, Halfdays and Tiro, Honorable Speaker Edmund S. Villagomez, Honorable Vice Speaker Vincent Diego F. Camacho, Honorable Floor Leader Marissa Renee Flores, and Honorable esteemed members of the 24th Northern Marianas Commonwealth Legislature, House of Representatives. For record purposes, my name is Jean-Paul B. Regis, Special Assistant for the Administration under the Office of the Governor. On behalf of the Honorable Governor David M. Apateng and the Honorable Lieutenant Governor Dennis James C. Mendiola, I thank you for the opportunity to appear before you on today's scheduled House session. Speaker Villagomez and honorable members of the Sinamay House of Representatives, I am here to extend the administration's appreciation and express our gratitude to the Joint Committee members on Judiciary and Governmental Operations and the Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure, chaired by the Honorable Representative Joel C. Camacho and the Honorable Representative Vincent S. Aldan, for evaluating the administration's nominee. This morning, you'll be entertaining Joint Standing Committee Report 24-3, the renomination of Mr. James S. Cyruk and Mr. Oscar Patrick Kirugua to continue to serve as members of the Public Utilities Commission representing the 3rd and 1st Senatorial District. And as always, although they are absent due to health issues, Mr. Speaker and members, as well as Mr. Quiroguez representing the 1st Senatorial District, we apologize for their absence today. But at any rate, the administration seeks your favorable consideration. Your acknowledgement and approval on their confirmation today is an essential step for the administration to finalize the vacancies for all boards and commissions. Mr. Speaker and honorable members of the 24th Northern Marianas Commonwealth Legislature, House of Representatives, Governor David M. Apateng and the Honorable Lieutenant Governor Dennis James C. Mendiola once more extends their sincere appreciation for your generous and favorable consideration on behalf of our nominees who have accepted their responsibility to serving our great Commonwealth. Thank you, Jesus Mosi Zangiliso.
Thank you, Mr. Regis. The podium is still open.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker, Vice Speaker, Floor Leader, and honorable members of this House. As you know, I'm Senator Manny Castro, here to provide public comment in support of the override of Senate Bill 24-04. I rise today in strong support of the override of the Governor's veto of Senate Bill 24-04, a measure that goes to the very heart of who we are as a people. This bill is not just about education policy. It's about cultural survival, constitutional responsibility, and generational justice. Our Constitution is clear. It mandates that our educational system must recognize and preserve the unique cultural heritage and language of our people. It further provides that other matters pertaining to its operations and duties shall be provided by law. That language is not accidental. It is a direct grant of authority to this legislature to act. This bill does exactly that. It does not strip authority from the Board of Education. It does not micromanage classrooms. Instead, it establishes policy direction, which is squarely within the legislature's constitutional role. The board remains responsible for administration and implementation through the commissioner. That balance is preserved. What this bill does is address a failure we cannot or can no longer ignore. Today, our bilingual languages, Chamorro and Carolinian, are in decline. Fewer and fewer of our young people speak them fluently. At the same time, the very educators tasked with preserving these languages are underpaid, undervalued, and in some cases earning wages that do not reflect their true responsibilities. If we do nothing, we are not neutral. We are complicit in the loss of our identity. This legislation responds with urgency and respect. It ensures every student is exposed to at least 1 year of indigenous language education. It creates pathways to certify fluent speakers as educators, and especially now given this economic situation we're in. Recognize cultural knowledge as expertise. It provides fair compensation to those who carry the responsibility of preserving our heritage. These are not radical ideas. These are necessary corrections. The veto suggests constitutional concerns, but respectfully, this bill is well within the legislative authority. The Constitution does not prohibit the legislature from setting educational policy. It explicitly allows it. Courts have consistently recognized that the legislatures may set standards, requirements, and priorities for public education, as long as the administrative bodies retain implementation authority, which they do here. At its core, this is a question of leadership. Will we act boldly to preserve our language while we still can? Or will we allow another generation to grow further disconnected from its roots? The Senate has already spoken by voting to override. Now this responsibility rests with this body. A vote to override is a vote for cultural preservation, for educational equity, for respecting the intent of our Constitution, for the future of the CNMI. I respectfully urge each of you to stand with our people, stand with our culture, and to vote to override the veto of Senate Bill 24-04. Sizus Masi, and thank you.
Sizus Masi, Senator Manny. The podium is open. All right, with nothing further, we now move down to the adoption of journals, and I recognize the clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Under item 3, adoption of journals, we have 2 ready for House action. First is the 12-day second regular session journal dated December 29, 2025, and 13th day second regular session journal dated December 31st, 2025.
Thank you, clerk. I now recognize the floor leader for the adoption of said journals.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move for the adoption of the following House journals. 1, the 12th day second regular session journal dated December 29, 2025. And number 2, 13th day second regular session journal dated December 31st, 2025. So move.
Thank you, floor leader. A motion has been made by the floor leader to adopt the journals on today's agenda, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? All in favor for the motion, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Thank you, members. We now move down to item number 4, introduction of bills, and I recognize Representative Rangamar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Formally introducing House Bill number 24102 to amend the Fire Safety Code to apply the International Fire Code as the guiding standard in the Commonwealth. Pre-filed by myself and welcome others to co-sponsor. And if I may, Madam Floor, I ask that this be put on calendar for action today. Thank you. No objection.
Thank you. Thank you, Representative Rangamar. And with that, I recognize the floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At this time, I move to suspend Rule 9, Section 8, to place House Bill number 24102, to amend the Fire Safety Code to apply the International Fire Code as the guiding standard in the Commonwealth on today's bill calendar. So move.
Thank you, floor leader. A motion has been made to suspend Rule 9, Section 8, to place House Bill 24-102 on calendar for action today, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? All in favor for the motion, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Thank you, members. I now recognize myself. Formally introducing House Bill 24-103 to deposit the fiber optic telecommunications cable rights-of-way annual use fee into a submerged lands revolving fund account for the management and maintenance of submerged lands. Pre-filed by myself, and I welcome other co-sponsors. And House Bill 24-103 will be referred to the committees on Ways and Means and Natural Resources. Any other unnumbered House bills? I recognize Representative Julie.
Thank you, Speaker. Today I officially introduce a bill for an act, House Bill number 24-104, to earmark the phytosanitary certificate and the certificate of origin fees collected by the Customs and Biosecurity and for other purposes. Pre-filed by myself, and I welcome others to co-sponsor this bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Julie Ogo. House Bill 24-104 will be referred to the Committee on Ways and Means. Any other unnumbered House bill to be introduced? Okay, with nothing further, we now move down to House local bills, and I recognize Representative John Paul Sablan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Officially introducing House Local Bill Number 24-52, entitled to appropriate $125,000 allotted under Saipan Local Law 20-26 to RL and for other purposes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative John Paul Sablan. I now recognize, on behalf of Representative Ralph Yumo, Representative B.J. Atta.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Officially introducing House Local Bill Number 24-53 on behalf of Rep. Ralph Yumo, entitled to appropriate $220,000 from revenues collected for the 3rd Senatorial District pursuant to Saipan Local Law 22-06 and for other purposes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative Atta. Any further under House Local Bill? Representative Ogo, do you have a House? Okay, pass, okay. Okay, with nothing further, we now move down to, we don't have anything under House Legislative Initiatives. We now move down to introduction of resolutions, and I recognize under commemorative resolution, Representative Rangamar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Formally introducing House Commemorative Resolution Number 24-6 to recognize and commend the late Melvin Wayne Camacho Sakisat for his exemplary service and selfless dedication to the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, and to extend the heartfelt condolences of the House of Representatives to his bereaved family, be filed by myself and others. And if there's no objection, I would like to offer this as a committee of the whole.
No objection.
Thank you.
No objection. All right, thank you, Representative Rangamar. Commemorative Resolution 24-6 is now hereby introduced by the Committee of the Whole and will be placed on today's resolution calendar for action. I now recognize Representative Julie Ogo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today, I'm introducing a House Commemorative Resolution 24-7 to recognize and commend the pioneer contestants and title holders of the Miss Northern Marianas Descent Beauty Pageant for their dedication to the preservation, promotion, and advancement of the Chamorro and Carolinian culture, heritage, and history in the Commonwealth of the Northern Marianas. Pre-filed by myself, and if there's no objection, I would like to request to put this on today's calendar, resolution calendar.
Okay.
And
No.
and also to, as a committee as a whole.
No objection.
Okay, thank you, Representative Julie. Let the record reflect that commemorative resolution 24-7 is hereby introduced by the Committee of the Whole and will be placed on today's calendar. However, will be acted on the next session. Any further under resolutions? Okay, with nothing further, we now move down to item number 6, messages from the governor, and I recognize the clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Under item 6, messages from the governor, we have several communications from the governor. The first is Governor's Communication 24-105, which was read on February 9th, 2026, and Governor's Communication 24-119 through 122.
Thank you, clerk. Any discussions under governor's communication?
I'm sorry, 126, Mr. Speaker.
So noted. Okay, thank you for that correction. Any discussions under governor's communication? Okay, quick recess. Quick recess. Before we went on recess, we were under messages from the governor, and the floor was open for any discussion under messages from the governor, and the floor is still open. I recognize Representative Julie Ogle.
Thank you, Speaker. I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to the Governor, David M. Apateng, for signing into law Rota Local Law 24-07, Rota Local Law 24-08, Rota Local Law 2509, and Public Law 2423. Governor Apateng, your decision to sign these measures into law reflects your continued commitment to supporting the island of Rota and strengthening the Commonwealth as a whole. These laws are not just pieces of legislation. They represent meaningful progress for our community, addressing important needs and helping move our island, our Commonwealth forward. On behalf of the people of Rota, I thank you for your leadership, for recognizing the importance of these measures. Your support ensures that the work we do in the legislature translates into real benefits for our people. Sidus Masi, Governor Apateng.
Thank you, Representative Ogle. Representative Omar?
Thank you, Speaker. I want to comment on Governor's Communication 24-123, which was House Bill 2435, which becomes local Public Law 2425. I want to extend my sincere gratitude to Governor Apateng for signing House Bill 2435 into law. This important legislation strengthens the Commonwealth's Good Samaritan protections and expands access to life-saving opioid overdose reversal medications such as naloxone. House Bill 2435 is significant because it removes barriers that previously limited access to naloxone and provides limited civil liability protections for individuals who administer the medications in emergency situations. By allowing prescriptions to be issued to individuals other than persons at risk and increasing distribution channels, the law helps ensure that this life-saving medication is more accessible to families, first responders, and community members who may need it during a crisis. This measure represents a proactive step towards protecting our communities, saving lives, and strengthening our public health response to the ongoing opioid overdoses and crisis that we face nationally as well as locally. I commend Governor Apateng for his leadership and commitment to policies that prioritize the health and safety of the people of the Commonwealth. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative Omar. Any further under Governor's communication or messages from the Governor? Ready? Okay, with nothing further, I now recognize the floor leader for the motion to override under Governor's Communication 24-105.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At this time, pursuant to Article 2, Section 7C of the Constitution of the Northern Mariana Islands, I move that the House override the Governor's veto to Senate Bill number 24-04 entitled To Advance Indigenous Chamorro and Carolinian Language Education in the CNMI. So move.
Thank you, floor leader. A motion has been made by the floor leader to override the governor's veto to Senate Bill 24-04, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? I recognize Representative Aquino.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, members. Before we vote on this, I just want to share like a story that just happened actually yesterday. I'll just withhold names, okay? So I went to one of these coffee shops, and an uncle of mine asked me if I was able to speak the native vernacular, Chamorro. So I said, no, I can pretty much understand. I can speak a little, but not, I don't even want to make any attempt because I don't want anyone to criticize me about the wrong verbiage or whatever. So he says, nah, boy, you ate too much Gwen English. So I said, I guess so. So he says, maybe I just need to eat a lot of Gwen English. But how this relates to this bill is that I really believe that this bill too is very important because we need to preserve not only our language, but our culture. And I think that the kids need to understand a little bit about our past and preserve whatever was in the past, because some of how we were raised in the past it's beneficial today when we see a lot of these Western influences, that impact how our kids grow up. A lot of them say, back then we used to get hit with a frying pan. Maybe that's not allowed, but the language and the culture, I think, are the fundamental roots for our kids today. Whether you're Chamorro, whether you're Carolinian, I think that everyone that comes here to make Saipan their home needs to also go through this so they can understand where we come from also as a people. Thank you, Speaker. I yield.
Thank you, Representative Aquino. Representative Magnolia.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I just wanted to take the moment to thank the Youth Congress for, taking the lead on this legislation, and I think it underscores the importance, right, especially it coming from the youth, right, that this is something that they care about, and that this is something that we need to support and help push as far as we can, and it's also proof that, hey, the youth does have a voice and can make an impact, so thank you to all the members and the senators and the Youth Congress for taking the lead and for your leadership. It's something that I know that we're all proud of. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Magnolia. Any further under the motion? Ready? Okay. Again, the motion is to override the governor's veto to Senate Bill 24-04. An affirmative vote of 2/3 or 14 members out of the 20 is the number to beat or to have. And with nothing further, I now recognize the clerk to please call the roll.
Representative Adat.
Ungan.
Representative Aldon. Representative Aquino.
Yes.
Representative Veto.
Yes.
Representative Angelo Camacho. Representative Diego Camacho.
Yes.
Representative Joel Camacho.
Ungan.
Representative Joseph Flores.
Yes.
Representative Marissa Flores.
Yes.
Representative Maglonia.
Yes.
Representative Vogel.
Yes.
Representative Omar.
Hungan.
Representative Palacios.
Ungan.
Representative Rangamar.
Yes.
Representative Sablan.
Ungan.
Representative San Nicolas.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, all 17 members present voted yes.
Thank you, clerk. With a vote of 17 yes, the motion carries and the House has overridden the governor's veto to Senate Bill 24-04. Yes, recognize Representative John Paul Sablan.
Still under Governor's Communication. Sorry, Mr. Speaker, if I may just extend my appreciation to the Governor, the Honorable Governor David M. Apatang, under Governor's Communication 24-122, informing the House that he signed House Bill number 24-11, entitled to provide greater authority to government transit buses owned and operated by the Commonwealth Office of Transit Authority to establish traffic safety measures, enhance public engagement, assure fiscal responsibility, and comply with existing cinema laws and federal standards, and for other purposes, which became Public Law 24-24. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative John Paul Sablan. Any further? Yes, Representative Aquino.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to ask members, that although we keep, we're overriding the governor's thing, that sometimes in the mornings, the first override that we had, my name changed to override. I said, good morning, override. So I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow with this bill, but I hope that, we can enter into a more friendlier dialogue with the governor. He has an open door policy, and maybe it can lessen the override names that come to me in the morning. And with that, I just hope that the governor too understands also, where we're coming from, especially with the other ones that I see here, because we all have a voice, and although he gets his guidance from his advisors too, but we too also have our own thoughts and our own opinions, and I just want us to just respect each other, and that hopefully we can have a better dialogue with the governor because he's really a down-to-earth person. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative Aquino. Okay, with nothing further, before we proceed to the next item on the agenda, I'd like to recognize the clerk to please go back to the attendance and include Representative Roman's attendance for today's session.
Speaker, sorry for that. I came a little bit late, but thank you for that.
Mr. Speaker, we now have 18 members present.
Mr. Speaker, can I call for a short recess, please?
Short recess. Ice back to session. And before we went on recess, I asked the clerk to acknowledge the presence of and the attendance of Representative Roman Beneventi in today's session. A little technical error on my part. During the voting of the override, his vote was, of course, not included because he was still absent, even though he was physically present, but not on the record. His vote did not count, but during recess, we discussed with the members and he accepted, so we would go back to the override to include Representative Roman Beneventi's vote since he is now officially present. So now I recognize the clerk.
For Representative Beneventi's vote on the governor's override, overriding the governor's veto to Senate Bill 2404, Representative Beneventi.
I'm good.
Mr. Speaker, all 18 members present voted yes.
Thank you, clerk, and let the record reflect that correction that now it is with a vote of 18 yes of the 18 members that are present today, and that the House has overridden the governor's veto to Senate Bill 24-04. Thank you, members, and again, we apologize for that technical error. We'll now move down to item number 7, Senate Communications, and I recognize the clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Under item 7, Senate Communications, we have Senate Communications 2487 to 2492.
Thank you, clerk. I now recognize the floor leader for the proper motion to accept Senate Communications.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At this time, I move that the House accept Senate Communications number 2487 to 2492, and that it be deemed property of the House for further disposition as appropriate. So move.
Thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made to accept Senate Communications, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? All in favor for the motion, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it, the motion carries. Thank you, members. Under Senate Communications 24-91, I will be referring that to the Committee on Ways and Means. And Senate Communication 24-92, I'll be referring that to JGO. Any further discussions? Okay, ready? With nothing further, we now move down to item number 8, House Communications, and I recognize the clerk.
Thank you again, Mr. Speaker. Under item 8, House Communications, we have House Communications 2487 to 2489.
Thank you, Clerk. Any discussions under House Communications? Ready? All right, we now move down to item number 9, Communications from the Judicial Branch. We have none. Item number 10, Communications from Departments and Agencies. We have none. Item number 11, Miscellaneous Communications. Clerk?
Thank you again, Mr. Speaker. Under item 11, Miscellaneous Communications, we have one item, Miscellaneous Communication 2498.
Thank you, Clerk. Any discussions under Miscellaneous Communications? Thank you, members. We now move down to item number 12, Reports of Standing Committees, and I recognize the clerk.
Thank you again, Mr. Speaker. Under item 12, Reports of Standing Committees, we have a total of 10 reports, 3 of which is joint committee reports from your Committee on Judiciary, Governmental Operations and Transportation Infrastructure, and the rest is Standing Committee Report for 2445 to 2451.
Okay, thank you, Clerk. If there's no objection, I'd like to take a short recess. Okay, short recess. before we went on recess, we just entered the reports of standing committee as part of the agenda, and the clerk did announce the standing committee reports that are under this item of the agenda. And with that, I now recognize the floor leader for the proper motions. Floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At this time, I move for the adoption of Joint Standing Committee Report Number 24-1, reporting on House Bill Number 24-87, entitled "To Require an Independent Valuation of the Commonwealth Utilities Corporation, Restore Constitutional Audit Oversight, Modernize Procurement and Review Procedures, Protect Ratepayers, and Clarify the Economic Framework for any privatization transaction and for other purposes." Your House Committee on Judiciary and Governmental Operations and Transportation and Infrastructure recommend that the House pass House Bill Number 24-87 in its current form. So move.
Thank you, floor leader. A motion has been made for the adoption of Joint Standing Committee Report 24-1, and it has been seconded. Any discussions?
Ready.
Ready? All in favor for the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. Joint Standing Committee Report 24-1 is hereby adopted. Floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At this time, I move for the adoption of Joint Standing Committee Report Number 24-2, reporting on House Bill Number 24-88, entitled "To Mandate the Commonwealth Utilities Corporation." To mandate that the Commonwealth Utilities Corporation undergo a comprehensive, independent, third-party utility expert audit, to require formal Commonwealth Public Utilities Commission audit review docket and transparent public review process, to require an enforceable corrective action plan, a ratepayer impact matrix, and a public audit implementation dashboard, to impose strict timelines and narrowly limit extensions, to require mandatory decennial audits, to establish compliance reporting and civil penalties for missed deadlines payable to the CNMI Treasury, and for other purposes. Your House Committee on Judiciary and Governmental Operations and Transportation and Infrastructure recommend that the House pass House Bill Number 24-88 in its current form. So move.
Thank you, floor leader. A motion has been made by the floor leader to adopt Joint Standing Committee Report 24-2, and it has been seconded. Any discussions?
Ready.
Ready. All in favor for the motion, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At this time, I move to pass for the adoption of Joint Standing Committee Report Number 24-3, reporting on the renomination of Mr. James S. Cyrock to serve as a member of the Public Utilities Commission representing the 3rd Senatorial District, and the renomination of Mr. Oscar Patrick Kitagwa to serve as a member of the Public Utilities Commission representing the 1st Senatorial District. Your House Committees on Judiciary and Governmental Operations and Transportation and Infrastructure recommend that the House confirm Mr. James S. Cyrock and Mr. Oscar Patrick Kitagwa to serve as members of the Public Utilities Commission, PUC. So move.
Thank you, floor leader. A motion has been made by the floor leader for the adoption of Joint Standing Committee Report 24-3, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready. Okay, with no further discussions, I now recognize the clerk to please call the roll.
Representative Ada?
Yes.
Representative Aldan? Representative Aquino?
Yes.
Representative Hato?
Yes.
Representative Benavente?
Again?
Representative Angelo Camacho? Representative Diego Camacho?
Yes.
Representative Joel Camacho?
Good.
Representative Joseph Flores?
Yes.
Representative Marissa Flores?
Yes.
Representative Manglotnya?
Yes.
Representative Ogo?
Yes.
Representative Omar?
Hungan.
Representative Palacios?
Again.
Representative Rangamar?
Yes.
Representative Sablan?
Again.
Representative Nicolas?
Yes.
Mr. Speaker?
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, all 18 members present voted yes.
Thank you, clerk. With all 18 members voting yes, Joint Standing Committee Report 24-3 is hereby adopted. Congratulations on the confirmation of Mr. Cyrock and Mr. Kitugwa. All right, floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At this time, I move to adopt Standing Committee Report Number 24-45, reporting on House Bill Number 24-91, entitled "To Appropriate $300,000 of the dividends collected by the Commonwealth Economic Development Authority, also known as CEDA, from the Commonwealth Utilities Corporation, CUC, to fund infrastructure projects in the 1st Senatorial District." Your House Committee on Ways and Means recommend that the House pass the bill in the form of House Bill Number 24-91, HS1. So move.
Thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made by the Floor Leader for the adoption of Standing Committee Report 24-45, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Recognize the Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I'd like to, I know that Rep. Ogle introduced this bill for her constituents in the 1st Senatorial District. And I'd like to ask for her consideration. I know that I believe there will be some discussion with members also of your delegation. But the Commonwealth was recently given some leverage by the government of Guam when they paid for the dues that were owed to WICHI, which is for the post-secondary students attending college in the mainland. And we know that there are some constituents within the Commonwealth that includes the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd Senatorial District. I think the total amount that Gov Guam had asked for was $174,000 in repayment since they covered our membership dues. And so I'm just asking for your consideration, Rep. Ogle, if you can bring this to your delegation. As we know, all of our students and all of our children within the Commonwealth, including the Northern Islands, I assume, are all attending college, and for this repayment to be given back to Gov Guam would be a nice gesture that we can repay back what they're also helping us to pay for. So thank you.
Thank you, Floor Leader. Any further discussions? Ready? All in favor for the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. Standing Committee Report 24-45 is hereby adopted. Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And at this time, we are now attending to the item Standing Committee Report Number 24-46. I'd like to call for a motion that this particular Standing Committee Report be moved back and referred to the Committee of Ways and Means for further discussion. Thank you. So move.
Thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made by the Floor Leader to refer Standing Committee Report 24-46 back to the Ways and Means Committee, and it has been seconded. Any discussion? Ready? All in favor for the motion, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At this time, I move for the adoption of Standing Committee Report Number 24-47, reporting on Senate Bill Number 24-19, entitled "To Amend 9 CMC Sections 2208D to authorize motor vehicle licensure to all residents of the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands." Your House Committee on Ways and Means recommend that the House pass Senate Bill Number 24-19 in its current form. So move.
Thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made by the Floor Leader for the adoption of Standing Committee Report 24-47, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? All in favor for the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At this time, I move for the adoption of Standing Committee Report Number 24-48, reporting on House Bill Number 24-72, entitled "To Impose the Remittance Transfer Tax within the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, equivalent to the federal excise tax under 26 U.S.C. Section 4475, to ensure equitable revenue capture from outbound remittances to strengthen compliance with federal fiscal policy and for other purposes. Your House Committee on Ways and Means recommend that the House pass the bill in the form of House Bill number 24-72 HS1. So move.
Thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made by the Floor Leader for the adoption of Standing Committee Report 24-48, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready. All in favor for the motion to adopt, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. Standing Committee Report 24-48 is hereby adopted. Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At this time, I move for the adoption of Standing Committee Report number 24-49, reporting on House Bill number 24-85, entitled to amend 3 CMC Sections 1205 relating to the Chamorro Carolinian Language Policy Commission's authority to assess fees for translation services, to establish a revolving account, and for other purposes. Your House Committee on Ways and Means recommend that the House pass House Bill number 24-85 in its current form. So move.
Thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made by the Floor Leader to adopt Standing Committee Report 24-49, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready. All in favor for the motion, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. Standing Committee Report number 24-49 is hereby adopted. Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move for the adoption of Standing Committee Report number 24-50 on reporting on House Bill number 24-92, entitled to appropriate $63,000 from Schedule A of Public Law 24-20 that was vetoed for the Soil and Water Conservation Districts and for other purposes. Your House Committee on Ways and Means recommend that the House pass House Bill number 24-92 in its current form. So move.
Thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made by the Floor Leader to adopt Standing Committee Report 24-50, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready. All in favor for the adoption, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At this time, I move for the adoption of Standing Committee Report number 24-51, reporting on House Bill number 24-89, entitled to appropriate $300,000 of the dividends collected by the Commonwealth Economic Development Authority, also known as CEDA, from the Commonwealth Utilities Corporation to fund infrastructure projects in the 2nd Senatorial District. Your House Committee on Ways and Means recommend that the House pass the bill in form of House Bill number 24-89 HS1. So move.
Thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made by the Floor Leader for the adoption of Standing Committee Report 24-51, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Recognize the Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And at this time, I'd also like to ask our great colleague from the 2nd Senatorial District to also consider my request and my ask, my humble ask to also consider putting funds aside, if possible, to the debt that is owed to our government of Guam when they paid the dues that jeopardized the enrollment tuition for our students going to school in the United States. Thank you, Rep. San Nicolas, for your kind consideration.
Thank you, Floor Leader. Any further discussions? Ready? All in favor for the motion, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. Standing Committee Report 2451 is hereby adopted. Thank you, colleagues. We now move down to item number 13, reports of special and conference committees, and I recognize the clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Under item 13, reports on special and conference committee, we have one item, Conference Committee Report 24-2, ready for House consideration.
Thank you, Clerk. And with that, I now recognize the Floor Leader for the proper motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At this time, I move that the House adopt Conference Committee Report number 24-2, Conference Committee Report Number 24-2, reporting on House Bill Number 24-74, SS2, entitled, "To appropriate funds derived from the trust income from the Marianas Public Land Trust." Your Conference Committee recommends passage of the bill in the form of House Bill Number 24-74, SS2, CCS1. So move.
Thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made by the Floor Leader for the adoption of Conference Committee Report Number 24-2, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Recognize Representative Atto.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. First and foremost, I would like to thank your committee members for the for conference committee in regards to, or for the conference committee in regards to House Bill Number 24-74 SS2, namely Rep. John Sablan, Rep. Yumo, and our alternate, our floor leader, Rep. Marissa Flores, for their participation and discussion on the matter. I would also like to extend our appreciation to the Senate, our Senate counterparts, led by Chairman Jude Hofschneider, Senator Frank Cruz, Senate Floor Leader Donald Maglonia, and their alternate, Senate Vice President Karina Magofnia. What started under House Bill 24-74 was to address an emergency need back in November in regards to the shortage of the NAP funding for the people of the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands when the federal government was under shutdown. Fortunately for the people of the CNMI and the NAP program specifically, the federal shutdown was lifted in regards to nutritional needs for the people, not just in the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, but other territories of the United States and the United States themselves. So as when the legislation made it to the Senate, they made proper amendments to in their position in regards to the funds, because it was freed up. The $1 million was freed up and it was distributed to respective senatorial districts and the public school system. Your conference committee met, and we're again faced with another emergency in regards to our tourism recovery efforts here in the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. And during the deliberation in that conference committee, both houses had agreed that what started as an emergency, the funds should go and address the current emergency at this time, which is tourism recovery. We met with the team from MVA, and they were able to break down by numbers and by detail of how these funds can assist in making sure that air transportation continues here in the CNMI. I know it's not the total amount that they were asking for, but it was a good starting point for the people of the CNMI, that we as a body or as a branch of government are answering to the call of what we face as an emergency here in the CNMI. It's very unfortunate that the legislative body continues to kill fires. We should be working on how we can move forward, but very unfortunately, and external circumstances dictate a lot of our economic recovery here in the CNMI. And with the little resources that we have, we're able to address these problems. Although Band-Aid solutions at the moment, we are also working on getting more permanent solutions. And MVA is also doing its part to make sure that they concentrate on economic recovery. And in those conversations, we were very strict on making sure that these monies are addressed to the needs of our economic recovery. Our tourism recovery. So the members agreed that the monies would be going to MVA to assist in tourism recovery, and not to forget that the public school system would get the 25%. So with that, Mr. Speaker, your committee that you assigned to this, your members that you assigned to this conference committee did its part and made sure that we addressed the pressing needs that we're facing the Commonwealth. And again, we extend our appreciation to our counterparts in the Senate for also agreeing to the position of the CNMI so we can move forward in assisting the needs of our people. Thank you again to to Rep. John Sablan, Rep. Ralph Yumo, Floor Leader Marissa Flores, and to all the members for also chiming in and sharing your thoughts on how we can move forward with these funds before we even got to the conference committee. So we did this as a body, and we'll continue to work as a body as we press forward for more permanent solutions for our people and our economic recovery. With that, thank you again, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, colleagues, for the time.
Thank you, Representative Veto. And just a reminder before any further discussions, just a reminder that a conference committee report is not subject to amendments. You either agree to it or you don't. So, okay, the floor is still open for discussions. Ready? Okay, clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Fata?
Yes.
Representative Aldon?
Yes.
Representative Aquino?
Yes.
Representative Veto?
Yes.
Representative Angelo Camacho? Yes. Representative Diego Camacho?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Representative Benavente?
I'm good.
Representative Joel Camacho?
I'm good.
Representative Joseph Flores?
Yes.
Representative Marissa Flores?
Yes.
Representative Manglonia?
Yes.
Representative Ogle?
Yes.
Representative Omar?
Hungan.
Representative Palacios?
good.
Representative Rangomar? Representative Sablan?
Hungan.
Representative Nicolas?
Yes.
Mr. Speaker?
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, all 18 members present voted yes.
Thank you, clerk. With all 18 members present voting yes, Conference Committee Report 24-2 is hereby adopted. Thank you, colleagues. We now move down to item number 14, unfinished business. We have none. Item number 15, resolution calendar. I recognize the floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move for the adoption of commemorative resolution number 24-6, a House commemorative resolution to recognize and commend the late Melvin Wayne Camacho Sequisan for his exemplary service and selfless dedication to the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, and to extend the heartfelt condolences of the House of Representatives to his bereaved family. My apologies, Mr. Speaker. So move.
Thank you, floor leader. A motion has been made by the floor leader to adopt commemorative resolution 24-6, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? All in favor for the motion to adopt, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Commemorative resolution 24-6 is hereby adopted. And as discussed, commemorative resolution 24-7 will remain on calendar for action in the next session. We now move to item number 16, bill calendar, and I recognize the floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At this time, I move for the passage on first and final reading on House Bill number 24-87, a bill for an act to require an independent valuation of the Commonwealth Utilities Corporation, restore constitutional and audit oversight, modernize procurement and review procedures, protect ratepayers, and clarify the economic framework for any privatization transactions and for other purposes. So move.
Thank you, floor leader. A motion has been made by the floor leader for the passage of House Bill number 24-87, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready. Clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Fata?
Yes.
Representative Aldon? Representative Aquino?
Yes.
Representative Veto?
Yes.
Representative Benavente?
I'm good.
Representative Angelo Camacho? Representative Diego Camacho?
Yes.
Representative Joel Camacho?
I'm good.
Representative Joseph Flores?
Yes.
Representative Marissa Flores?
Yes.
Representative Manglonia?
Yes.
Representative Ogle?
Yes.
Representative Omar?
Hungan.
Representative Palacios?
Good.
Representative Rangomar?
Yes.
Representative Sablan?
Hungan. Hungan.
Representative Nicolas?
Yes.
Mr. Speaker?
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, all 18 members present voted yes.
Thank you, clerk. With all 18 members present voting yes, House Bill 24-87 hereby passes the House. Floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At this time, I move for the passage on first and final reading on House Bill number 24-88, a bill for an act to mandate that the Commonwealth Utilities Corporation undergo a comprehensive, independent third-party utility expert audit. To require formal Commonwealth Public Utilities Commission audit review docket and transparent public review process. To require an enforceable corrective action plan, a ratepayer impact matrix, and a public audit implementation dashboard. To impose strict timelines and narrowly limited extensions. To require mandatory decennial audits. To establish compliance reporting and civil penalties for missed deadlines payable to the CNMI Treasury and for other purposes. So move.
Thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made by the Floor Leader for the passage of House Bill number 24-88, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? Clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Fata?
Yes.
Representative Aldan?
Yes.
Representative Aquino?
Yes.
Representative Vato?
Yes.
Representative Benavente?
Good.
Representative Angelo Camacho? Representative Diego Camacho?
Yes.
Representative Joel Camacho?
Good.
Representative Joseph Flores?
Yes.
Representative Marissa Flores?
Yes.
Representative Manglotnya?
Yes.
Representative Ogo?
Yes.
Representative Omar?
Hungan.
Representative Palacios?
Good.
Representative Rangamar?
Yes.
Representative Sablan?
Hungan.
Representative Sinicolas?
Yes.
Mr. Speaker?
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, all 18 members present voted yes.
Thank you, Clerk. With all 18 members present voting yes, House Bill number 24-88 hereby passes the House. Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At this time, I move for the passage on first and final on House Bill number 24-91, a bill for an act to appropriate $300,000 of the dividends collected by the Commonwealth Economic Development Authority, also known as CEDA, from the Commonwealth Utilities Corporation to fund projects in the 1st Senatorial District. So move.
Thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made by the Floor Leader for the passage of House Bill number 24-91, House Substitute 1, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? Clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Vada?
Yes.
Representative Aldan?
Yes.
Representative Aquino?
Yes.
Representative Vato?
Yes.
Representative Benavente?
Good.
Representative Angelo Camacho? Representative Diego Camacho?
Yes.
Representative Joel Camacho?
Aware.
Representative Joseph Flores?
Yes.
Representative Marissa Flores?
Yes.
Representative Manglotnya?
Yes.
Representative Ogo?
Yes.
Representative Omar?
Hungan.
Representative Palacios?
Good.
Representative Rangamar?
Yes.
Representative Sablan?
Hungan.
Representative Sinicolas?
Yes.
Mr. Speaker?
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, all 18 members present voted yes.
Thank you, Clerk. With all 18 members present voting yes, House Bill number 24-91 hereby, House Substitute 1 hereby passes the House. Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move for passage on first and final on Senate Bill number 24-19, a bill for an act to amend 9 CMC Section 2208D to authorize motor vehicle licensure to all residents of the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. So move.
Thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made by the Floor Leader for the passage of Senate Bill 24-19, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? Clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Vada?
Yes.
Representative Aldan?
Yes.
Representative Aquino?
Yes.
Representative Vato?
Yes.
Representative Benavente?
Good.
Representative Angelo Camacho? Representative Diego Camacho?
Yes.
Representative Joel Camacho?
Aware.
Representative Joseph Flores?
Yes.
Representative Marissa Flores?
Yes.
Representative Manglotnya?
Yes.
Representative Ogo?
Yes.
Representative Omar?
Hungan.
Representative Palacios?
Good.
Representative Rangamar?
Yes.
Representative Sablan?
Hungan.
Representative Sinicolas?
Yes.
Mr. Speaker?
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, all 18 members present voted yes.
Thank you, Clerk. With all 18 members present voting yes, Senate Bill 24-19 hereby passes the House. Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At this time, I move for the passage in first and final on House Bill number 24-72, HS1, a bill for an act to impose a remittance transfer tax within the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, equivalent to the federal excise tax under 26 U.S.C. Sections 4475, to ensure equitable revenue capture from outbound remittances to strengthen compliance with federal fiscal policy and for other purposes. So move.
Thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made by the Floor Leader for the passage of House Bill number 24-72, House Substitute 1, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? Clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Vada?
Yes.
Representative Aldan? Representative Aquino?
Yes.
Representative Veto?
Yes.
Representative Benavente?
Again.
Representative Angelo Camacho? Representative Diego Camacho?
Yes.
Representative Joel Camacho?
Hour.
Representative Joseph Flores?
Yes.
Representative Marissa Flores?
Yes.
Representative Manglonia?
Yes.
Representative Ogo?
Yes.
Representative Omar?
Hungan.
Representative Palacios?
Again.
Representative Rangamar?
Yes.
Representative Sablan?
Hungan.
Representative Siniclas?
Yes.
Mr. Speaker?
Hungan.
Mr. Speaker, all 18 members present voted yes.
Thank you, Clerk. With all 18 members present voting yes, House Bill number 24-72, House Substitute 1 hereby passes the House. Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move for the passage and first and final on House Bill number 24-85, a bill for an act to amend 3 CMC Sections 1205 relating to the Chamorro and Carolinian Language Policies Commission's authority to assess fees for translation services and to establish a revolving fund and for other purposes. So move.
Thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made for the passage of House Bill number 24-85, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? Clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Vada?
Yes.
Representative Aldan?
Yes.
Representative Aquino?
Yes.
Representative Veto?
Yes.
Representative Benavente?
Again.
Representative Angelo Camacho? Representative Diego Camacho?
Yes.
Representative Joel Camacho?
Hour.
Representative Joseph Flores?
Yes.
Representative Marissa Flores?
Yes.
Representative Manglonia?
Yes.
Representative Ogo?
Yes.
Representative Omar?
Hungan.
Representative Palacios?
Again.
Representative Rangamar?
Yes.
Representative Sablan?
Hungan.
Representative Siniclas?
Yes.
Mr. Speaker?
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, all 18 members present voted yes.
Thank you, Clerk. With all 18 members present voting yes, House Bill number 24-85 hereby passes the House. Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At this time, I move for the passage on first and final on House Bill number 24-92, a bill for an act to appropriate $63,000 from Schedule A of Public Law 24-20 that was vetoed for the Soil and Water Conservation Districts and for other purposes. So move.
Second.
Thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made by the Floor Leader for the passage of House Bill number 24-92, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready. Clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Vada?
Yes.
Representative Aldan?
Yes.
Representative Aquino?
Yes.
Representative Veto?
Yes.
Representative Benavente?
Again.
Representative Angelo Camacho? Representative Diego Camacho?
Yes.
Representative Joel Camacho?
Hour.
Representative Joseph Flores?
Yes.
Representative Marissa Flores?
Yes.
Representative Manglonia?
Yes.
Representative Ogo?
Yes.
Representative Omar?
Hungan.
Representative Palacios?
Again.
Representative Rangamar?
Yes.
Representative Sablan?
Hungan.
Representative Siniclas?
Yes.
Mr. Speaker?
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, all 18 members present voted yes.
Thank you, Clerk. With all 18 members present voting yes, House Bill number 24-92 hereby passes the House. Clerk, sorry, Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We're on a marathon today. I move for the passage on first and final on House Bill number 24-89, HS1, a bill for an act to appropriate $300,000 of the dividends collected by the Commonwealth Economic Development Authority, also known as CEDA, from the Commonwealth Utilities Corporation to fund projects in the second senatorial district. So move.
Thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made by the Floor Leader for the passage of House Bill number 24-89, House Substitute 1, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? Clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Vada?
Again.
Representative Aldan? Representative Aquino?
Yes.
Representative Veto?
Yes.
Representative Benavente?
Again.
Representative Angelo Camacho? Representative Diego Camacho?
Yes.
Representative Joel Camacho?
Hour.
Representative Joseph Flores?
Yes.
Representative Marissa Flores?
Yes.
Representative Manglonia?
Yes.
Representative Ogo?
Yes.
Representative Omar?
Hungan.
Representative Palacios,
Ngan.
Representative Rangomar,
Yes.
Representative Sablan,
Hungan.
Representative San Nicolas,
Yes.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, all 18 members present voted yes.
Thank you, Clerk. With all 18 members present voting yes, House Bill number 24-89, House Substitute 1, hereby passes the House. Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I apologize. I know that we had inserted 102. My apologies. My apologies, Rep. Rangomar. At this time, Mr. Speaker, I move for first and final on House Bill number 24-102. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Whew, we are really on a marathon today. My apologies to the general public. That's a lot. Before offering the motion for passage on first and final reading, Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend Rule 7, Section 9, and Rule 9, Sections 9 and 10. So move.
Thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made by the Floor Leader to suspend Rule 7, Section 9, and Rule 9, Sections 9 and 10, and it has been seconded. Any discussions?
Ready.
Ready? All in favor for the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I now move for the passage on first and final reading on House Bill number 24-102 to amend the Fire Safety Code to apply the International Fire Code as the guiding standard in the Commonwealth. So move.
Thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made by the Floor Leader for the passage of House Bill number 24-102, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? Clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Ada,
Yes.
Representative Faldan, Representative Aquino,
Yes.
Representative Fatao,
Yes.
Representative Benavente,
Ngan.
Representative Angelo Camacho, Representative Diego Camacho,
Yes.
Representative Joel Camacho,
Hungan.
Representative Joseph Flores,
Yes.
Representative Marissa Flores,
Yes.
Representative Manglonia,
Yes.
Representative Ogo,
Yes.
Representative Omar,
Hungan.
Representative Palacios,
Ngan.
Representative Rangomar,
Yes.
Representative Sablan,
Hungan.
Representative San Nicolas,
Yes.
Mr. Speaker.
Awer.
Mr. Speaker, all 18 members present voted yes.
Thank you, Clerk. With all 18 members present voting yes, House Bill number 24-102 hereby passes the House. Thank you, members. Any other unnumbered bills to be passed? I'm just kidding. All right, we now move down to item number 17, miscellaneous business, and the floor is open. Recognize Representative Aquino.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just wanted to thank my chairman and colleague, Representative J.P. Sablan, for his support. Every time we go out cleaning, it's a difficult task. We do it Monday through Saturday. And I want to thank our respective staff for all their efforts. And I want to, most especially from the chairman and myself, we would like to thank the great people of Precinct 2, the greatest precincts in Precinct 2, the villages in Precinct 2. Thank you, and thank to all the people for all the work that you do to keep our village clean. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Representative Aquino, and thank you, Representative John Paul Sablan, for showing the efforts of the cleanups in the village. So, Representative Faldan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So I'm pretty sure that the members of the House have already received the press release from CUC's rate hike on the FAC. Right? I would like to make a statement regarding that. And then also, I thank you all for passing House Bill 2487 and 88, which is a significant bill with regards to the FAC rate. So let me just read this statement that I came up with. The Commonwealth Utility Corporation has now publicly confirmed that the fuel adjustment charge, or FAC, increased from 19 cents per kilowatt to 22 cents per kilowatt effective March 16, 2026. CUC states that this increase follows the Commonwealth Public Utilities Commission order lifting the FAC tariff freeze and reflect changes in fuel costs. This means that the FAC is no longer just a possibility for future increase. It has already increased. The FAC is the fuel cost portion of the electric bill and is separate from the base rate. According to CUC, the base rate itself did not increase. For ratepayers, the increase equals 2 cents per kilowatt hour on a practical level. That means about $11.85 per month for a 500 kilowatt hour customer, about $17.77 more for a 750 kilowatt hour customer, and about $23.69 more for a 1,000 kilowatt hour customer. That's before taxes, penalties, water charges, or other bill items. The CPUC order matters because it removed the freeze that had been holding the FAC down pending CUC's fuel cost reconciliation filing. Once that freeze was lifted, effective March 15, 2026, CUC was able to adjust the FAC upward again based on its fuel cost calculation. The same order also states that if future FAC calculations would exceed 24 cents per kilowatt hour, CUC must first seek commission approval before putting that higher amount into effect. One point that should be clarified publicly is the rate history. CPUC order freeze reference a frozen FAC rate of 21 cents per kilowatt hour beginning March 1st, 2025, while CUC's March 18, 2026 press release lists the immediate previous FAC as 19 cents per kilowatt hour for the period June 1st, 2025 through March 15, 2026. Those two figures are not necessarily irreconcilable because the freeze order allowed reduction below the initial frozen level, but the public deserves a clear month-to-month explanation. As the current Middle East situation, the direct impact on CNMI ratepayer is not political rhetoric, but fuel price exposure. The CNMI depends heavily on imported fuel. When conflict, shipping risk, insurance costs increase, or supply disruptions affect global oil and refined fuel markets, islands that rely on imported fuel face higher replacement costs and greater FAC pressure. That does not mean every world event immediately appears on the next bill, but it does mean our power system remains vulnerable to external shocks we do not control. The larger policy lesson is straightforward. When the CNMI remains dependent on imported fuel, families, businesses, and public facilities remain exposed to world events, freight volatility, and fuel market instability. Greater transparency in the FAC calculation, stronger oversight, and long-term movement toward reliable, local, or regional energy diversification are essential to protect the ratepayers. The bottom line is this. The FAC has now officially increased. The confirmed rate is 22 cents per kilowatt hour effective March 16, 2026, up from 19 cents per kilowatt hour. The increase follows the lifting of the FAC rate freeze and is attributed by CUC to higher fuel costs. The Middle East situation does not create the FAC by itself, but it can intensify the global fuel pressure or fuel cost pressure that eventually flow into the FAC for the CNMI ratepayers. This is coming from the CPUC's lifting of the FAC freeze for CUC. On another note, the House passage of House Bill 2487 and 88 shows why ratepayer protection and CUC accountability cannot wait. The recent lifting of the fuel adjustment charge freeze, followed immediately by CUC's increase in the FAC effective March 16, 2026, confirm exactly why stronger legislative oversight is needed now. The Commonwealth Public Utilities Commission lifted the freeze effective March 15, 2026, and CUC then announced the FAC increase from 19 to 22 per kilowatt effective the very next day. House passage of House Bill 24-87 and House Bill 24-88 does not automatically cancel or roll back this FAC increase. What these bills do is strengthen the Commonwealth's ability to demand transparency, independent review, and ratepayer-centered accountability at a time when CUC customers are once again being exposed to fuel cost volatility and utility decision-making. The FAC issue is not only about global fuel prices. It is about governance, reconciliation, transparency, and whether ratepayers are being asked to shoulder costs without a full public accounting. This is why these bills matter. They are structural response to a real and present problem. In plain terms, the FAC increase makes House Bill 24-87 and 24-88 more important, not less. The recent CPUC and CUC actions show that family, business, and public institutions remain vulnerable to fuel-related rate pressure. The public is entitled to know what costs are incurred, whether these costs were prudently managed, whether fuel procurement and rate calculations were handled properly, and whether ratepayers are being charged only what is lawful, necessary, and justified. The Commonwealth should not normalize future increases without a stronger factual record, better outside scrutiny, and a transparent process that places the ratepayers' interests first. This is the broader significance of House Bill 2487 and 2488. The bottom line is the fact increase is the immediate event. House Bill 2487 and 88 are the accountability response. The public should expect full transparency, independent review, and a clear demonstration that ratepayers' interest comes first. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative Aldan. Representative Veto.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just in line with Rep. Aldan's concern of fuel price increases, as I'm sure every single member here has received calls from our constituents regarding the cost of fuel at our pump stations today. It's very unfortunate, but external circumstances are dictating the cost of fuel, and the argument's always been the fuel that are in the pumps today were purchased at a different rate. And I believe we've worked with the contacted Commerce and also the AG's office if we can get this taken care of and see where we can cap stuff up, because if fuel prices are going up, it's gonna get more dangerous for our people, because commodities are gonna start increasing in costs, because they're gonna tag on the fuel costs in transporting these commodities over here. And so we respectfully are asking as a body that the AG's office along with Commerce work together in making sure that the price gouging doesn't start happening for our people, because the cost of living in itself right now, with the FAC rate going up to 22 cents, our residents are gonna start arguing, are gonna try to spread their little amount of dollars even thinner today. Now they're gonna have to worry about the cost of power, the cost of fuel, and the cost of food should it trickle down to the food level. So if we can get them to start making sure that price gouging doesn't start happening in regards to our regular commodities at the grocery stores, we're gonna be in a bigger mess. If we just passed legislation from a conference committee that's going to address our tourism struggles, and if this trickle effect goes down, now we're going to have to figure out how to find money to address the cost of living in the CNMI, increasing to match the standards based on the cost in bringing these commodities into the CNMI. And I know that the members continue to talk about resilient living in regards to food security, farming, fishing, and even hunting for what we can get out in our land, out of our land, right? So we need to make sure that we're on top of this, and the AG's office and Commerce are on top of this. So we make sure the price gouging doesn't happen, because it's gonna be a bigger impact. If we thought that tourism is an emergency, and price gouging starts happening in regards to our regular commodities, That's going to be a bigger emergency. If we were worried about the NAP, $1 million was able to at least pay for half of the NAP recipients, but to maintain the cost of commodities is going to be that much more difficult. Now we're talking about even a bigger population here in the CNMI. So I just wanted to point that out and put it on record, Mr. Speaker, so that our constituents know that we are working to make sure that the costs are minimal if there's any changes, but also to know that their elected leaders are not sitting back and just watching this happen. You know, we're doing our part. We may not be out there screaming about it, but we are doing our part from our respective offices. But we just want to put that on record, that we want to make sure that we protect our consumers as well, which is our everyday people. And back to the override, Mr. Speaker, if I may be allowed to speak a little bit. This is coming from the Youth Congress. If there's any Youth Congress legislation that's made it past the Youth Congress, got to the respective houses and signed into law, it's always been legislation that talks about preservation. One of the biggest legislations that the Youth Congress came forward with was the King legislation. The House of Representatives and the Senate of the 12th legislature passed that in regards to conserving the fishes that we have in our oceans here in the CNMI. So those members of the Youth Congress are the adults today that are fishing out there, or teaching the students how to fish. So their vision as members of that Youth Congress is in fruition today. We have the Tossy to Table group. A lot of those individuals in Tossy to Tables were members of that Youth Congress. So with the override on Senate Bill number 24-04, it's preservation by this Youth Congress that's presented it to this body, and this body passed it. And unfortunately, it was vetoed into law. But our governor, Rep. Apatang at the time, and I may misquote him, but I remember him saying that if it's for conservation and for our kids and for their future, then we should assist them in making sure that their vision of tomorrow is protected today. So we're not going against Governor Apatang and the message that he sent over here on this veto message, and he's not going to call Rep. Danny Aquino Mr. Override or Good Morning Override. It's a reflection of our youth thinking of their future. And if you look at the history of any other than the one that I've mentioned, the one that I've mentioned, the Youth Congress have come up with a lot of legislation that talks about preservation. And we got to be mindful that the members of the Youth Congress are not necessarily all NMDs. A majority of the members of the House and the Senate are NMDs. The members of the Youth Congress aren't. They're a vast group of different cultures that call the CNMI home. And they have this vision of their future. So our action is to protect their future today, just like in the words of then Representative Apatang in the 12th legislature, is we protect the future of our kids then, because they know what's good for them. And these kids have already presented something like Rep. Manglonian mentioned. You know, it's their vision, they see it, and we're helping them get to that vision. Again, we can use Tossy to Table as a good example of that vision. So let's continue to support our youth, whether it's from the Youth Congress or the voices of those that are underserved. We work with them, we serve everybody, we represent everybody. So again, thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, colleagues, for allowing me the time to speak.
Thank you, Representative Attal. The floor is still open under miscellaneous. Representative Aldan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And again, I just want to just in case not everybody got the memo, but the cost of goods will rise. And I'll tell you why. Triple B sent me a memo that they already increased their, transportation costs. So imagine what all of these stores or whatever getting shipped in here that is to be sold or to be used for personal reasons, it has already increased. So is it going to get worse if this Middle East crisis gets, goes on for much longer than it needs to? It will get a lot more expensive. And we do need to start looking within ourselves to make sure that, as Rep. BJ said, that the AG, and the consumer protection agencies, that falls in the AG, has to go out there and do their due diligence to ensure that no business is price gouging. And at the same time, this kind of situation requires everybody's effort. When anybody sees something wrong that is going to cost the loyal customers or honest customers, to pay extra price because somebody else is stealing something, like let's say, for example, utility. This is not just the government not paying its bills. This is also about people not, paying their bills because they're illegal tapping. In one situation that I heard like 2 weeks ago from somebody that works at CUC, the amount of people, and businesses that are illegally tapped into the utility grid, it's crazy because enforcement is not there to actually go find out. And these guys have been going out there and they've been discovering a lot of theft, which means that we, as the loyal ratepayers, are actually picking up the tab for them while they're having a time of their life. So if everybody wants a stable rate or stable price on any products or goods or services, we have to do our part to report to the AG, report to the Consumer Protection Branch. We have to do our part. The legislature is not here to solve everybody's problem because there's no way in hell that that's going to happen. We need everybody's effort. So if you want, this is to the public, if you want to ensure that you are not getting taken advantage of, make sure that you report. Because at the end of the day, it would only benefit you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative Aldan. Any further under miscellaneous? Floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And, there's so much happening in the world that's really affecting us. And we always talk about our local government and what we can do, where we can raise taxes, what we're not doing better enough of, what we're not considering. But we seem to forget that we still have a covenant. And I'm going to speak about that portion of that because with the Commonwealth 250 coming up and Chairman Malcolm's agenda that will discuss the importance of that, I think it's only natural that we also put this on record so that Big Brother who's watching, which I'm sure they're always watching us, because we're not doing enough of what they want. I'm going to have to disagree with that. I think they need to be doing a little bit more. Too often, decisions about our future are made in rooms where our islands cannot be found on the map. Yet the people who live in these islands carry a history that stretches back thousands of years. I'm not just a legislator of the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. I am a mother, a woman of the Marianas, and a voice for the people who call these islands home. Before I speak about policy or strategy, we must first remember who we are. I come from a people whose ancestors crossed the Pacific guided only by stars. My people built villages, raised families, and cared for these islands long before the modern world discovered them. We learned that the land and the oceans are not possessions. They are our responsibilities. Our ancestors survived colonization, war, displacement, and the loss of lands that had sustained families for generations. Yet through every hardship, they protected something that could not be taken: our identity, our culture, and our connection to these islands. We may be a small island in a vast ocean, but we're not a small people, and we will not accept small considerations in decisions that shape our future. We stand here today between the ancestors who entrusted us with these islands and the children who will inherit them. My responsibility as a mother, as a leader, and a daughter of the Marianas is to ensure that what was entrusted to us is never lost. But that responsibility requires me to speak honestly. Once again, too often, decisions about our future are made thousands of miles away by people who do not know who the people of the Northern Mariana Islands are. And in some cases, don't even know where our islands are located. Decisions made at that distance impact and shape whether our economy survives, whether our families remain, and whether our children inherit a future here at all. So today, I'm here to remind them, and I'm here to remind us. I'm here to remind those in power deciding on whether or not we live or die. We are a people first, a people with our own constitution, our own history, and our own responsibility to protect the rights and the future of our Marianas. And while the people of the Marianas continue to honor the principles of our covenant and our constitution, we ask those who govern from afar to remember them as well and uphold them with the same seriousness and respect. The Northern Mariana Islands are not simply distant territories in the United States. We are American soil in the heart of the Indo-Pacific, living at the crossroads of global security, regional stability, and the future of the Pacific. Our island sits thousands of miles from Washington, yet only hours from some of the most strategical, significant regions in the world. The decisions made about our islands are shaped by global geopolitics, shifting alliances, and the growing importance of the Pacific in an international security level. But while these islands may appear on strategic maps as locations on airfields, ports, and military planning, they are first and foremost a home to our people. If these islands are critical to national security, then the people who live in them must be treated as critical to that mission. To understand why that matters, we must remember, once again, who we are and our history. During World War II, these islands became battlefields. Our grandparents endured bombardment, displacement, and encampment. Entire villages were uprooted, and the lands that had sustained families for generations were taken for military use. Across centuries, our islands experienced multiple colonial administrations, yet the people of the Marianas endured. Military planners see the Pacific through maps of distances, runways, and strategic positions. But the people of the Marianas carry a different map, one held in memory. Our maps mark fishing grounds our elders taught us to respect. It marks villages where generations were raised. It marks sacred places where ancestors are buried. Land is not simply property. Land is memory. Land is identity. Land is our responsibility. And as a mother and as a woman of the Marianas, I carry that responsibility every day. Our Constitution and our covenant are not simply documents. They exist to protect our families, our culture, and the future of our children. Every decision we make must answer one simple question. Will it protect the children of tomorrow? But we must also be honest with ourselves. Some of the struggles our Commonwealth faces were worsened by failures within our own local politics, by corruption, by personal enrichment, and by a weak system of accountability. But we are here correcting those failures. We are the leaders of today that are committed to building stronger institutions, enforcing accountability, and delivering long-term solutions that protect everyone, not just the few. But accountability must exist on both sides of this partnership. So at the same time, I must acknowledge the profound impact that federal political decisions have had on our Commonwealth and our Marianas. The political struggles that shape policy in Washington, whether between parties or administrations, often determine the economic realities facing our islands. The people of the Marianas are not concerned with partisan battles. Our priority is simple. We want our people to thrive. We want our economy to grow. We want our communities to be secure. And we want our children to have a future in these islands that our ancestors protected. No community stands alone. No island bears a greater burden than another. Saipan, Tini, and Rota and our northern islands together form the Commonwealth, one Marianas. The district I represent does not matter. The titles we hold does not matter. What matters is that we serve one people and protect one future. That future requires real solutions. For example, maybe we can bring this to the federal government. Federal grant reform, removing matching requirements so the Commonwealth can fully access investments in disaster preparedness, more broadband, and environmental resilience. A cooperative federal-local immigration framework that can restore regional visa flexibility, allowing the CNMI, the Marianas, to strengthen tourism while maintaining national security. These are practical, achievable measures that ensure national defense strengthens, not strains, the communities that sustain it. Like many islands, the Marianas depends heavily on imported fuel to power our homes, hospitals, and economy. In a region shaped by geopolitical tension and fragile supply chains, energy security is not simply an economic issue. It is a matter of sustainability and survival of our people. Together, these solutions ensure that national defense investment strengthen not only military readiness, but the communities that make readiness possible. Because for the people of the Marianas, self-determination is not a political slogan. It is the difference between survival and disappearance. I believe in partnership, our history, our covenant, and our shared security interests that bind us to the United States. But partnership must be real. We will stand with America in the Pacific, but we will not disappear within it. For thousands of years, our people have lived on these islands, not by chance, but by resilience, stewardship, and an unbroken commitment to one another. And with that same courage and unity, we are not simply hoping our children will remain. We are entrusting that they will. So I urge our governor, I urge our AG, I urge everybody. I urge the military to come back and have more discussions with us because I didn't ask for a war. I don't care about the politics that happen in the United States. I care for our Marianas and how we move forward so that we can thrive. That's what I care about. I don't care about Republican. I don't care about Democrat politics in Washington, D.C. That's not my business. My business is my people. So if you're watching Big Brother, make that very clear. I hope you heard that. Because we are tired of repeating ourselves every single time. While we're taking local money, moving it for tourism sustainability, we cannot control our airspace. We're still sitting on cabotage. You're still debating about policies that affect whether my island lives or dies. So if you want to have real communication, real conversation, the 24th legislature and the Speaker of the House, our chairman of FFA committee, is open to meet with anybody at this point that is willing to work for the survival of our Marianas. Thank you. I yield my time.
Thank you, Floor Leader. Floor is still open under Miscellaneous. Ready? Okay, we'll now move down to announcements. Any announcements? Recognize Representative TJ Mangloni.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just wanted to remind the community of the fiesta for the Santa Soledad Parish happening in Cagman this Sunday. So please join us if you have the time. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Manglona. Representative Joel Camacho.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to inform the members that we will be calling a JGO meeting next week for some legislation, and if any of the members want to add anything into the agenda, My apologies, we were supposed to schedule it this week, but we're still waiting for some comments to come our way before we get put the call out. Thank you.
Any further recognized Representative Omar?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And with next week, we celebrate or commemorate the Sinamay Covenant Day. I'm just sharing the Sinamay, the Commonwealth Jubilee flyer that's supposed to kick off on Sunday. It's a 3-day event to coincide with Covenant Day, and this is in line with the Federal Executive Order. Everyone's invited. We have locations at the Civic Center on Sunday, and also at Fishing Base Garpan and the American Memorial Park Amphitheater, and the flyers being shared through social media outlets and will be shared towards to everyone's offices also and to the general public. So again, happy Covenant Day, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Omar. Floor Leader.
Thank you. And in line with Women's Month, the 12th Annual Women's Summit will be celebrated on March 26th at 8 o'clock at the Multipurpose Center, and everybody is invited. And the proclamation, Autism Awareness Month, will be celebrated on March 30 at 10 a.m. at Crown Plaza. Everyone's invited at 10 o'clock to 11 a.m. in support for autism awareness. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Floor Leader. Also, this Thursday is also the San Jose Fiesta in Oliai. 4 p.m. is the mass. So, yeah, tomorrow. So please, if you have the time, come over to another beautiful precinct, in Precinct 3. Thank you. Representative Ogle.
Thank you, Speaker. As much as I want to invite those that are, to the Galita Festival that's happening this weekend, we are booked out on hotels and car rentals. But next year, plan ahead, call my office, and I can assist you in booking your lodging and your car rentals. So those that are coming down that are able to secure, welcome to the Galita Festival. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Ogle. Any further under announcements? Ready? All right. We now move down to adjournment, and I recognize the Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to adjourn subject to the call of the chair. So move.
Thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made for adjournment, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? All in favor for the motion, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. This session is hereby adjourned. Thank you, everyone.